Are you considering getting your bachelor's degree in exercise science? Maybe it's because you played sports growing up, so it just makes the most sense. Or maybe it's because you know that those who earn a degree tend to make more money once they graduate. Or maybe you've considered going into physical therapy down the line, or maybe you just want to train some athletes. If you're not sure, then this video is for you, and I need you to watch it, because I'm going to tell you all the reasons why you shouldn't get a bachelor's degree in exercise science. Welcome to the video, everybody. My name's Joel, and before I dive into the main topic of this video, which is why you should get your bachelor's degree in exercise science, I first think it's necessary to explain what this video isn't. And that's that this video is not anti-higher education. I'm a huge proponent of higher education, and I think there's all sorts of different things that you can learn, especially at like a community college level. You learn how to work on things towards a deadline. You learn how to articulate a well thought out argument. You learn how to manage stress with all these different classes and different due dates. You learn how to take constructive criticism. There's all sorts of different soft skills that you learn outside of the core subjects that you learn in college. And I love it. I think it's great for a lot of people. And just so we're clear here, I'm not just someone on the outside looking in. I have experience in college, about 4 years now actually, at the community college level, jumping from major to major until I found out which one I wanted to actually sink my teeth into. Since then, I've had a ton of fun, I've met a lot of friends, I've learned a lot of soft skills, and I've learned a lot about myself. I've also earned an associate's degree in exercise science, an associate's degree in liberal arts, and I've also done an on-campus internship for the exercise science program, and I was the president of the school's exercise science club. So I've been around the college space for a long time. On top of that, I also work as an online powerlifting coach. I work as a personal trainer already in a sports performance gym in the private sector, and I've done all sorts of different mentorships, internships, and continuing education programs outside of the college setting. So with my expanded scope and my understanding of what the actual industry is like, I can confidently say that I still think a bachelor's degree is not worth it in exercise science, especially if you're going to pull out student loans that you don't know how you're going to pay off, and especially if you don't know what you're going to do with that bachelor's degree once you graduate with it. So now that we've talked about all that, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. So first things first, let's talk about your return on investment for earning your bachelor's degree in exercise science. Because who doesn't want to talk about whether or not they can make a lot of money with a bachelor's degree in exercise science versus not getting one? So if you go on Google and you type in something along the lines of how much can I make with a bachelor's degree in exercise science, you're probably going to get an answer along the lines of $30,000 to $50,000 a year. But in reality, this data is skewed so much by different variables like where you live, job opportunities in your area, whether or not you work in a private setting or if you work for a corporate office or if you're in a school setting. And to be honest, there's just so many other variables that I didn't mention there that are going to make this drastically different case by case. But to be honest, it is absolutely very possible to make over $100,000 a year working as a personal trainer in a private setting. But keep in mind, you don't need a bachelor's degree, and a lot of the times in different states, you don't even need a certified personal trainer certificate in order to work in a private practice as a trainer. Okay, so I understand that not everybody wants to go through the headache of starting their own business and all the risks that are involved with owning their own private practice. So if you did graduate with your bachelor's level degree in exercise science, and I'm only talking about the bachelor's level, not a graduate level degree, then you might be able to go find a job at a school or in a corporate setting where you're going to be earning around like $30,000 to $60,000 a year. Maybe a little bit more if you find your way into a private school or if you get a really good job for a massive corporation. But if you hear about these different people that are working for like $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year, you need to understand that those are outliers and not necessarily representative of the different jobs that are available to you once you graduate with a bachelor's level degree in exercise science. So now that we've talked about how much you can actually earn with these degrees, it's important to remember if you're going to school just for the college experience or just to get a bachelor's degree in exercise science because you might be able to fall back on it because it's safe, what these degrees actually pay you once you earn them. Because if you're relying on a PE job, and let's say you have two schools in your area and both of them already have full-time PE teachers, then how long is it going to be realistically before those jobs free up? Are you willing to travel? These are different things that you have to think about. So now that we've gone over how much you could potentially make with this degree, you have to think about how you're going to pay for it. So if your parents are going to pay for your degree, or if you've earned a lot of scholarships and you're going to pay on the side with a job, or if you've earned a full ride, that's awesome. But if not, and you're going to pay with student loans, you have to think about how you're going to pay for those student loans once they kick in, once you earn your degree, because those interest rates bury people all the time. And we have an awful student debt crisis in the United States. So make sure that your degree that's going to be safe and be your fallback option isn't going to turn into a financial nightmare once you earn it. So these are all things to talk about with your parents or consider to yourself before you embark on this journey to earn your degree. It's really, really important for you to identify what the end goal is so that all these steps necessary to get there make sense. And I'm going to mention this a ton of times during the video, but community college is an awesome place to start out so you don't run into these financial issues down the road. So now that we've got all the financial stuff out of the way, let's talk about who I think a bachelor's degree in exercise science might actually serve. Because I think it'd be foolish for me to say that it's not for everybody. There very well might be some jobs in some research fields that it would be necessary for. So the first person I think this is going to be great for is anybody that wants to work in academia. If you want to work in academia as an instructor, a professor, an athletics program director, or in the research and lab setting, then this degree is probably going to help you because it's going to give you a strong understanding of strength and conditioning principles, all the relevant terminology that you're going to be familiarizing, that you need to familiarize yourself with, and all that good stuff, especially if you want to work in a research setting. And if you do, I applaud you, because anybody that's willing to go out of their way to study this stuff and further our understanding of biomechanics, physiology, neurology, anatomy, you're just going to be pushing the industry as a whole forward, and I just think that's a great path to go down. The second person I think it's going to be great for is anybody that wants to work with a team. So if your dream is to work with a college or professional team, you're going to need your master's degree at the very least to even be considered for a coaching spot. If you want to work with a high school team or be a high school PE teacher, you're probably going to be able to get away with a bachelor's degree along with whatever state and teaching credentials your district requires of you. The third person I think it's going to be great for is anybody that wants to get on the rehab or clinician side of the fence. If you want to be an athletic trainer, you're probably going to need an athletic trainer degree, or if you want to be a doctor of physical therapy or a doctor of chiropractic, I think it's probably going to be good just, again, so you can familiarize yourself with basic strength and conditioning principles, because let's be honest, like, more clinicians need to understand that stuff. Like, if you go out and be a doctor of physical therapy, please don't be the one that tells people that squatting is bad. But anyways, back to the topic. Again, if you want to go doing that kind of stuff, you don't even need an exercise science degree. You can very well go and transfer to one of those doctorate programs with a biology degree or something along the lines of that. So keep that in mind too. And then the fourth person I think it'd be good for, and this is going to be a bit more of a bonus because I'm still a little bit iffy on it, is anybody that wants to work in a corporate wellness setting. Sometimes different corporations will require that their trainers have a 4-year degree in order to be considered for a job. But in my own anecdotal experience, I have had recruiters come to my class and offer job opportunities to the class, explicitly saying that they don't require a 4-year degree. So, it's here and there. All right. Let's talk about who a bachelor's degree in exercise science is not for. Everybody else. I'm dead serious. Everybody else, you don't need it. So if you want to own your own business and you want to work as a personal trainer in a private setting, it's not necessary to go out and get your 4-year degree. In some states, you don't even need a personal training certificate to go and work as a personal trainer. Again, this isn't to say that you shouldn't always try to continue your education. I think you owe it to your clients who are paying you money and keeping your business afloat to always try to broaden and deepen your understanding of your craft so that they always have a better chance of succeeding and reaching their goals. And to build on this further, I'm using personal trainer as a bit of a catch-all. There are all kinds of different jobs that you can find in different niches. Like, it's not just one-on-one training with general population clients. You can work as a semi-private trainer working with 3 to 6 people and charge them less, but bring in more money overall and still give them pretty personalized programs. You can work in large group settings with general population or different athletes and youth athletes. You can work in the remote space as an online trainer with powerlifters or general population clients or bodybuilders, all kinds of stuff. These jobs really end where your imagination ends. So really, to wrap that all up, this degree really isn't for people who don't want to work in a research setting, people who don't want to work in academia, and people that don't want to work with high school and college teams. So if you could still serve the populations you want to serve, but without having to take all these different fluff classes in college that might teach you some relevant theoretical knowledge, but not how to apply it, because let's be real, like, real life and the book are two totally different things. There is so much more you're going to learn working with real humans that really don't fit the rigid guidelines that you might learn in some of these books. So this one's a little bit more intuitive, but this degree is also not for people who don't want to work directly with clients. So if you want to work as a general manager at a gym, or if you want to own your own gym or own your own fitness apparel or accessory line, or just work as like an influencer, because let's be honest, sometimes people make money on that stuff. If you have a decent enough following. It's really not necessary. And you could probably benefit more from going out and studying business, and don't underestimate this, but going out and working as like a bartender or a server or in a retail setting, because those types of places are going to teach you so many different soft skills and turn you into a people person, because you need to be a people person if you want to sell your product. And the fourth and final person that this degree is not for is somebody that just isn't sure if they want the degree. Look, if you still have a desire to go out and get a degree, regardless of what it's in, and you have the financial and time means to do it, then by all means, go do you. But I would advise you that you go and check out your local community college and check out the degree program there and dip your toes in it, per se, to see if it's something you actually want to invest more time and money into. So we've touched on the finances of a bachelor's degree in exercise science. We talked about who it's for and who it's not for, but quickly I want to touch on the subject of what you can do if you don't want to get a four-year degree, but you still want the knowledge of somebody who might go out and get one, but you don't want to spend the time and money on getting that degree with all the fluff classes that are included with it. So first and foremost, I would still go get my certified personal training certificate. One, because you're going to learn a lot of great baseline and basic information in it, and at the same time, it's probably going to be necessary if you want to go and get a job at, say, like a Globo gym to start your journey. Secondly, I would still go out and grab some books to familiarize myself with physiology, anatomy, and biomechanics. Kinesiology of the musculoskeletal system by Newman is a great way to start. That is a gigantic book with so much great stuff. I own it myself, and I haven't even scratched the surface. There's just so much good information in there. And I would also go out and seek an internship somewhere. You'd be surprised how many internships could actually be in your area that might not be listed. You might have to go out and ask some people if they know anybody that might be looking to take someone under their wing. And it's worth a shot and just going to ask. On top of that, you can seek out different mentorships, whether that be one-on-one or a group mentorship setting online. There's a lot of them that are popping up now, and they'll really help you, number one, create your business and learn how to sell your product, but also how to apply your theoretical knowledge into a real-world setting. So there's just all kinds of different things that you can do to be a great trainer. You just have to look for it. All right, everybody, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments section. Let's talk. Also, if you're working with your bachelor's degree in exercise science already, let us know how your experience is. But other than that, subscribe, because it helps me out a lot, and I put a lot of effort into this video, so that would just mean a ton. But thank you from the bottom of my heart. Take care.